Welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, January 8, 2020. The United Kingdom will not turn its back on Barbados and other CARICOM member states when it comes to trade. This assurance has come from Stephen Kossoff, head of the Department for International Development Caribbean, who said the current EU CARIFORM Economic Partnership Agreement will remain in place until the end of this year. In fact, Kossoff informed regional trade representatives that once that agreement expires between the UK and the region, a new one will be implemented. The UK is due to leave the EU on January 31.
As we leave the EU, I want to assure everyone in this room that we remain as committed as ever to creating the stable business environments and trading regimes that help to address the challenges faced by small island states. So we're really pleased that in line with the withdrawal agreement reached between the EU and the UK, the terms of current trading arrangements will remain unchanged during the implementation period, which, as I'm sure you all know, will run between the end of January and December 2020. And we particularly look forward to bringing the new CARIFORM UK EPA, which most countries in the region have now signed up to and ratified, into effect once the EU agreement ceases to apply to the UK.
The official was addressing the opening of a 3-day CARICOM workshop on World Trade Organization issues at the Savannah Hotel. He said that the UK supports the rule-based free trade system within the World Trade Organization, which he suggests works for developing countries.
Strengthening and improving the WTO, making it fit for purpose for the 21st century, is an all-hands-on-deck task. WTO reform cannot and should not be the preserve of a small handful of large countries with resources to dominate discussions both inside and outside the WTO. And that's why the UK has been so committed to levelling the playing field through our work under TAF2, of which this workshop is a part.
A success story. That's how Small Business and Entrepreneurship Minister Dwight Sutherland described IV Play Deli, which today opened a new location at River Road in Bridgetown. Sutherland urged Chief Executive Officer Philip Forrester and his team to be an example for other businesses, adding that government was focusing on building out a financial literacy bureau with players from the private sector and non-governmental organizations to lend expertise to small businesses.
I want to say to you this morning that, Mr. Forrester, I have just enrolled you as one of those persons who will be part of our financial literacy bureau, not for free, but to tell the success story and to handhold those small businesses, whether it is in the culinary arts, whether it is in the marketing of a business, whether it is in the production of food, whether it is in the production or within the manufacturing sector, within the tourism sector. Mr. Forrester has something to offer. I don't want you to stop here and focus on IV Play Deli. I want you to join us as a government in being instrumental in building out the micro, small and medium enterprise sector. I want you to go into those schools and teach those young students what it means to run a successful business. I want you to go into those schools and to those small businesses and teach them what it means to overcome these obstacles and these hurdles. When people say, I can't do it, you have that can-do attitude.
Forrester, who started the IV Play Deli in March 1997 at Sheraton Mall, says he was always confident that his concept would work. And now he has plans to build a big future at the new Bridgetown location.
It is now very important for IV Play Deli, 24 years in the business, to extend its arm into different opportunities in Barbados. And we're already having conversations within ourselves with other folks about franchising this business. Because you know what, my desire physically to do it is diminishing desperately, to be honest. So we're looking to build a big future at this whole establishment.
A high surf advisory and a small craft warning are in effect for Barbados from 6 p.m. Thursday until 6 p.m. next Tuesday, January 14. In a bulletin issued this evening, the Barbados Meteorological Services said large waves and dangerous rip currents could create unsafe conditions for small craft operators, particularly on the eastern, northeastern, and southeastern coastlines of the island. It also advised sea bathers to stay out of the water during the warning period and urged that caution should still be exercised along the island's western, northwestern, and southwestern coastlines. The Met Office explained the adverse conditions are a result of a strong high-pressure system centered over the eastern Atlantic that is forecast to generate easterly to east-northeasterly surface winds of 20 to 25 knots and easterly to east-northeasterly swells peaking near 3 meters from around 8 a.m. on Thursday.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume reveler, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back to Regional News. The Bahamas recorded a 4% increase in murders last year. 95 people were killed compared to 91 in 2018. Police officials assure they won't be relaxing their efforts to keep crime down.
New crime statistics across the country showing an upward trend in murder. The numbers rose by 4% last year, with 95 murders recorded this year. New Providence continues to lead other islands with 80 murders in 2019. Commissioner of Police Anthony Ferguson says the force remains encouraged that for the second consecutive year, murder remains under 100. However, he says this does not mean that officers should become complacent, but instead, the commissioner says the police will be more vigilant in their efforts to reduce crime.
On the international scene, President Donald Trump on Wednesday tempered days of angry rhetoric and suggested Iran was standing down after it fired missiles at U.S. forces in Iraq overnight. More in this report from Reuters Television.
In a national address flanked by the vice president and the heads of the state and defense departments, U.S. President Donald Trump on Wednesday said no Americans were harmed after a barrage of Iranian missiles hit air bases used by U.S. forces in Iraq.
We suffered no casualties. All of our soldiers are safe, and only minimal damage was sustained at our military bases.
And he suggested that the beating war drums may be falling quiet.
Iran appears to be standing down, which is a good thing for all parties concerned and a very good thing for the world.
Tehran said it launched 15 ballistic missiles at bases in Iraq housing American troops in retaliation for a U.S. drone strike that killed a top Iranian commander. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said the attacks were a, quote, slap in the face for the United States and said U.S. troops should leave the region. Tehran's foreign minister said Iran took, quote, proportionate measures in self-defense and did not seek escalation. And Trump on Wednesday signaled a desire to de-escalate the crisis with Iran.
The fact that we have this great military and equipment, however, does not mean we have to use it. We do not want to use it. American strength, both military and economic, is the best deterrent.
The death of Major General Qasem Soleimani sparked a massive outpouring of grief in the streets of Tehran. The White House said Trump ordered his killing in order to avert an imminent Iranian attack. The administration has not yet produced evidence backing up that claim, but blamed Soleimani for the deaths of hundreds of American soldiers over decades. American and European sources familiar with intelligence assessments told Reuters that Iran's missiles appear to have been aimed to avoid hitting U.S. personnel.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Azuma Media in bus terminals, as well as Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.